before I begin my little bit, I'd like to tell you that a lot of people wrote in and, lovely that, all the strength and goodness of a great draft cider. Very nice. It's rather strange because it's supposed to be homemade wine. Anyway, actually, my Uncle Percy used to say that women, were like wine, improved with age, like wine. Kept his wife in the cellar. Uncle Percy was actually once caught in the dark room with the au pair girl at 2 o'clock in the morning. Claimed he was a late developer. That was only a joke, Just a joke. Only just a joke. Anyway, so actually, when I look at it, certainly a lot of rather interesting marine life in here. That's what comes of keeping your socks on when you're treading the grapes. Jacques Cousteau would go mad if you could see that. Isn't nature wonderful? It's full of surprise. Oh, by the way, that reminds me. Sorry, my kids. I know you won't mind. I'll give a little wave to my children. There we are. That's it. Hello, Emma, Sophie. Only we had a bit of an argument at breakfast this morning, about staying up late to watch Daddy on the telly. They wanted to go to bed. By the way, a little tip to anyone who's about to get married, by the way. Be sure and have a home movie made of the ceremony. Because very often, in years to come, you might be feeling a bit low, a bit depressed. Run that film. It's like a fairy tale. Particularly if you run it backwards, because that way you end up single. What I was going to say is that a lot of people... No, I won't bother with that, sorry. What I was going to say was that a lot of people... Yes, I will. Yeah, I will. I will. Change my mind there. I wasn't sure whether I'd tell you or not, but I will. I once took a course in the power of positive thinking, I've been at it for 6 weeks. I couldn't make up my mind whether to stay or leave. Anyway, what I was going to say is a lot of people wrote in, after the last show we did, saying that they didn't believe that I can play the piano, the usual, band of knockers, my wife and her mother and our local priest. That's the last confession he gets out of me. He should talk. If he hadn't got the wrong collars back from the laundry, he'd still be on the buses. Anyway. And it stands to reason that if I could not play this lovely instrument, and it is in lovely condition, I must say, well, don't take my word for it. Look at this. Absolutely immaculate in there. Not a drop of oil anywhere. Good for another 1,000 arpeggios, honestly. One previous owner. They say that Mendelssohn practically lived in this piano. Look at this. No milk today, signed Mendelssohn. Incidentally, that reminds me of a very funny story. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, it's just an old terrible excuse to tell an old joke. Well, actually, I suppose that's a bit presumptuous of me to say you might be not thinking that at all. You might be thinking something else. None of my business what you are thinking. You might be thinking, I wish he'd hurry up and get off. You might be thinking to yourself, why is it people that eat prunes are never late for work? You might think that. You might be thinking, hasn't the milkman got cold hands? Or you might be saying to yourself, if I haven't swept up for a fortnight, am I keeping a disorderly house? I'm glad you're not thinking that, because you wouldn't be getting many laughs. Anyway, but I wish it hadn't crossed my mind. Anyway, but I digress. It is nothing to do with me what the viewers think, as long as you sit up straight and pay your rentals. That's all I ask. Now, for the very funny joke, well, it's not all that funny. No, but it isn't really. But when I told it to my wife, she laughed. But she's going through rather a sticky patch, and I think she was going to laugh anyway. Anyway, now what I'll do is I'll tell you the joke, you see, and I'll save about a minute at the end. Then I'll play this, this. I'll play that, the minute waltz. And if I haven't got time, I'll just play half of it and the 30-second waltz. And anyway, this Irish chap, this is the story. This Irish chap goes home unexpectedly, you see, and discovers his best friend, having an affair with his wife, Well, he is too shocked to say anything, which is just as well, because I don't do a very good Irish accent. Now, Now, if he'd been Jewish, oy vey, said Pat, you see? That doesn't work, really, does it? Besides, Jewish fellows don't go home unexpectedly, you know, because they have to stay behind and shut up the shop. Anyway, by the way, no, I am allowed to make jokes of that sort because I am half Jewish. Half Jewish, half Mormon, you know. No, my father was born in Salt Beef City, so that's right. This Irishman goes home, as I said, unexpectedly. Now, don't ask me why he did that. Just let's say, you know, he had an accident at work or something. He was told to sweep up the leaves and he fell out of the tree. Anyway, he walks. No. Anyway, he walks indoors, and there is his wife, you know, and his best friend, you know. There they are, just like that. I mean, there, you know. So, I mean, you know, they're there. Anyway, I can't be more specific. There they are, you know. They are there. So he goes over to the sideboard, and he gets a gun out of the top drawer, and he puts it to his head, holds it like that. So his wife starts laughing. He said, I don't know what you're laughing at. He said, you're next. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I can only receive, I can listen to you. It keeps me stable for days in cars. Here in my car, where the evening breaks down, will you visit me please? If I open my door in cars. Here in my car, I know I've started to think about leaving tonight, although nothing seems right in cars.
Seen on 86 countries across, stations across this country. Hope you're having a happy Easter. G'day and thank you for joining us. We'll be back in just a tick.